We will return to your scheduled programming shortly, or we are currently experiencing technical difficulty.
Hey guys, what's going on? Michael J. Crawford, the anti-trekker here. And a second. And welcome to today's mess of the show. And I'm sorry if I seem a little confused and disoriented. It's mainly because Mrs. Anti-Trekker is feeling a bit under the weather. So I literally just got back from the store picking her up some chicken soup, orange juice, etc. to help her fight off the bug that she's got. And so I apologize for getting a late start, but I've said many times before, and I will continue to maintain that while I love each and every one of you, I love Mrs. Anti-Trekker a whole lot more than you. In the meantime, Thomas is first in the house. Darth Kilhoun says, hey, Immortal Treknique is in the house, as is Zoom. Thomas throws a $1.99 in and wants Super Chat number 1. We'll get that in just a second. Zoom is winning at life, which is awesome. Bird of Prey, our Mafia leader, is here. Not Ryan Johnson. Now, not Ryan Johnson. I got a question for you, because I try to listen in on Berta Praises streams when I can. But it sounded like I assume you are the artist formerly known as the anti-Ryan Johnson. And if so, why did you change to not Ryan Johnson? Because I seem to recall you were talking to Berta Praises about it, and like he's the one that convinced you to do that. Mike Richards says, greetings from Columbus, Ohio. How you doing up there? Alex is saying hello. Commander Shran is in the house, says hello to everybody. I like seeing everyone swarm in when Anti-Trekker goes live. It's fun. It really is. It's my favorite part of the live stream, is just seeing everybody jump in and saying hi. I don't know why. And by the way, check out the cup. Has my face on it. And Mr. Miles says, oh, nice. YouTube hates me. Yes, I know, because you were like sitting there yelling at me through other forms of communication. Why the heck aren't you live yet? And then you realize, oh, crap. He is. Heiny ho, says Brian. Chief Cook is in the house, says earlier morning. Big hugs to Mrs. Anti-Trekker. Well, Mortal, I'm not going to give her big hugs because I don't want to get sick, but I'm sure she appreciates the sentiment. Picking her up soup. Why don't you just marry her? Jesus. Well, I did 25 years ago. Night Ryan Johnson, that is correct. So why did you switch? John, the former president, says, it's all about anti-confusion. Yes, that is true. Peter says, Anti-Trekker was me speaking to not Ryan Johnson because I kept hitting his name. You kept hitting his name? Okay, not sure what you mean. JP is in the house, says, hi, how you doing? That is some crappy coffee. That is true. Damn you, Bird, for showing me a free game. Bird showed you a free game? Well, I showed you a free game. It's right behind me right now. This is Space Engine. It is a really cool game. It's really a simulation, not a game, but it is really cool. We'll launch here. We're obviously parked in a stationary orbit around Earth right now, but we're going to take a quick trip around the universe in a minute. Let's see. I persuaded not Ryan Johnson. Didn't take much. Okay. Peter beat me to it, but yes, he's right. Okay. It's not my fault. Not Ryan Johnson changed his name. I don't know, Bird. You carry a lot of weight. And you know it. Who can type out full names? Not me. Well, but that's why at least if you're on a computer, you just hit the @ sign in the first 2 letters, and usually the rest of it pops up. Ryan says, good morning. I hope the missus gets well soon. Me too. I hate it when she doesn't feel well because I am worthless without her. And I know you guys would all agree with me on that. Dr. Alex, hug her. No, Dr. Alex is not allowed to go. Well, actually, no, Dr. Alex, okay, if you want to give her a hug, this is the time you can give her a hug. Yeah. My lightsaber just fell off my wall. Time to get the hammer. Well, why not just use the lightsaber in your hand instead of on the wall? I hit his name instead of your. Oh, I see, because you put like the @ sign in ANT and you'd end up getting him. Gotcha. When is the great and all-powerful Mrs. Anti-Trekker going to show going to be on? Well, I don't know, but you know, obviously not right now since she's feeling sick. Peter loves Space Engine. Yeah, I think it's a lot of fun. It's very basic and very simple, but it has a lot to it, and it's very deep. which if you haven't seen Space Engine, I played with it a little bit last night on the stream, but it is a full-on universe simulator, and it like has all known places in the universe in it. And you can apparently, and I haven't gotten this deep into it yet, but apparently you can add things to it like, you know, fictional places and stuff like that. And you can even import 3D models so that you could have the Enterprise and other ships that you're flying around in. And yes, the best part, as Peter Quinn just said, is it is free. It is 100% free. Now, they do, like many things, including this channel, ask you to support if you can. And quite frankly, I'll tell you that I'm going to probably kick him a couple of bucks because this is really cool stuff, considering how that it's free. When someone would type anti in the chat, auto finish would do anti Ryan Johnson. Well, nothing wrong with that. It deflects a lot of stuff. Space without war equals boredom. Wow, John, that's dark. Wash your mouth out with Berta Praises, number 8. Well, actually, okay. So before I wash out, I'm going to show them that clip that you sent me, Thomas. I'm not going to show the whole thing because I don't want to get DMCA'd, but that was so freaking awesome when you sent that to me. So let's see.
I have to go check on Dr. Stubbs.
So right here is a scene from Star Trek The Next Generation. As you can see, baby Wesley Crusher talking to some of the other babies on the ship. But look who it is.
He's in sickbay. Wesley.
That's right.
I have kind of an awkward situation here.
It is Gordon from the Orville. So now we know that Gordon's friend that he met up with was actually, should have been Wesley Crusher. And wouldn't that have been awesome if they had actually cast Will Wheaton to be his friend instead of the actor that they did. But anyway, that was really cool. So thank you for that, Thomas. And by the way, Thomas, just so you know, I showed that to Mrs. Anti-Trekker this morning, and she absolutely loved it. She thought that that was hilarious that he was on there. But yes, so now you know Wesley Crusher used to wash out his mouth with Gordon. That just doesn't sound right.
Anal na trach, was betad, doch heel dienle.
Ariel Natris Oris Bazi Bedhead Duchel Dementa. Yeah, I'm not gonna.
And by the way, speaking of Berta Praises, is Camille there? I'm really interested to know if Camille is there. Darren says, good morning. Yeah, and John Riker says, if you had a chance to sew a Star Trek show, what would you do with it? What do you mean by sew a Star Trek show? You mean like create one from scratch? Do you mean take over one that's already existing? I'm not sure what you mean. Darren says, what's wrong with the missus? I don't know exactly. I mean, it's not like she went to the doctor, but she's just feeling kind of sick right now. So ran to the store to get her the classic stuff that you have when you're sick, like orange juice and chicken soup. Type 2 to 3 2/3 letters and names pop up. Yes, that's true. I downloaded Space Engine months ago, but I didn't install it till this morning. I'll tell you, Bird, since you like to do the backdrops behind you, Space Engine would be great for you, too. In fact, you should probably come up with a Klingon bridge that looks as good as my TOS bridge here, and that way... And, in fact, everybody in the nerd community should do that and find a bridge that best represents them, and then we can all be flying around the universe together. My son is 6 also, so I'm home with him. That sucks, not Ryan Johnson, I know. And so you take care of that kid of yours. Peter Quinn says, use a wrench. Well, okay. I got to get caught up here. John, the former peasant, says, I'm on tablet and could never type best at, could type at best of times. I understand that, John. That is Anti-Trigger, fun times. That's it, Anti-Trigger, fun times. Yeah. Okay. Lost me there, Peter. Morning, Anti-Trigger, says Robert. Good morning. I think it has Vulcan Anti-Trigger for it. Yeah, it does have. It took us a while to find it, but you have to. It's listed as 40 ERI, not for. So that's kind of a weird one. I have Vader's saber and Ren's Disney exclusive saber and a foam elf sword hanging over my Thor's hammer, and Vader dropped straight down and knocked them all off. Well, that's because Vader is evil. Space station name Thunder Turd 5. That, yeah. And that's Gordon. Yes, that was in fact Gordon in that scene from Star Trek: The Next Generation. I'll bring it back up so you can get a look at his face. Look at that. That is clearly him. And if you listen to his voice, you can hear his inflections.
One of me and a terrific programmer, we get snowed in at the ski lodge. Just a fire and each other to keep us warm.
That's clearly him.
I can hold the storm for you. Meet us at the lodge later on. I can't.
Which is hilarious because nobody knew that he was on Star Trek. But he was as a kid at the time. And Tom says, I think it was a deleted scene. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what episode that's supposed to be from or anything, but that is hilarious. Darren says, now I feel... Yeah, no kidding. Because, yeah. Are you sure that isn't some other ginger? It looks, to me... I mean, because as soon as I showed the clip to Mrs. Antitrek, she immediately recognized him. She's a lot better at that than me. And, you know... So, I'm sorry, Berta Praises, you can be racist all you want, but this is not a racist channel, so we're not going to tolerate that around here. His Wikipedia page says he was in it. Well, there you go. For the love of God, let's not ruin Orville with Wesley being on it, but that would be so funny if... So, like, if evil Will Wheaton was in that episode instead of the guy that was his friend, if it was Will Wheaton being the terrorist, come on. Nobody, and that's the thing, is that would have been a great one because you would have seen Will Wheaton and said, oh, cool, a Star Trek alum. It's Wesley. He's a hero. He's great. Oh, no, he's a terrorist. That would be awesome. No, Camille doesn't start until about 2:30. Oh, man, I'm so sorry. I won't get to talk to Camille today because I will be at work by the time she comes in. Antchecker, if Seth had hired Will Wheaton to play Gordon's crazed friend, would you believe it's a sort of Easter egg or just a coincidence? Oh, that would clearly be an Easter egg. If I were Seth MacFarlane, I would have gone for Will Wheaton and tried to get him just for that because almost nobody would ever get that, and that would be the beauty of it. Bird Praises says, I had the same TOS bridge when I did Discovery reviews. Yeah, but you see, now that's blasphemy to use the TOS bridge for Discovery reviews. I need to come up with something specifically for the Discovery nights. And I only got another day. Uh-oh. Axidar has a name, Anti-Trekker. Deception? Okay. Not sure what you mean there. Oh, Anti-Trekker, the Fox deal done and dusted by Marvel. What do you mean? If you mean dusted, what do you mean by dusted by Marvel? I mean, that would sound like it's that they canceled it, but my understanding is that it's true. TOS Spock versus dyslexic K-Cops. Funny. You know I'm dyslexic, right, Ryan? Did you see the end of the video? Yes, I did, Thomas. I just couldn't show the whole thing because, you know, it's like 2.5 minutes long, so... Chief Cook said, oh my God, he skipped me. I'm sorry, Chief Cook. I was not intentional. You know, I don't purposefully skip people except for Ryan, or not Ryan, Mr. Miles. Hope Mrs. Antitrek gets better soon. Me too, Josh, because I just can't cook like she can. Besides that, I love her, so I don't want her to be feeling yucky. It was the Evolution episode. Oh, was it? Okay. So that he evolved into Gordon? Peter says it is 4 p.m. here. Ah, okay. Well, it is 10:59 a.m. here. And Berta Praises says, this is what my Star Trek Discovery reviews look like, and he sends an image. And there is Berta Praises. Well, yeah, you see, you put yourself in the view screen. I'm actually, because I'm the commander of my ship, I actually sit in front of the view screen, because that would indicate you being in the view screen that you are elsewhere. So you're communicating to me. That's what I get from that. Hope she gets better soon. Ain't tricky. Need feeding. Well, actually, technically, I don't need feeding. I'm kind of fat. Bird is double texting again. Yeah, it looks like. So you're pursuing legal action. What, against me? First of all, there's at least 25% difference. Now, number one, my view screen actually, you can see the lights flickering. Even like the lights around the view screen itself are flickering. The lights over here are flickering. So mine is much more interactive than yours. Not only that, but mine has a more dynamic background than yours. So, for example, it's time I think that we left Earth. So let's accelerate away from Earth. And here we go. We are now officially heading out of Earth's space. Let's push up the acceleration. And there goes Earth. Goodbye, Earth. And let's push up the acceleration more. All right, so we are now pushing a half a light year per second now on top speed. There, whoa, that's too fast. All right. All right, so now we are officially traveling through space backwards. Why not? So 3 a.m. there. Wow, where are you? And let's see. Let me communicating from Starfleet Command. I doubt that you're communicating. You're communicating. You're Section 31, Bird. I know it. Anti-Trekker is a Klingon, though he doesn't answer to Starfleet. Well, I am a Klingon, but I am in command of the Anti-Trekker here, so I am the only Klingon to rise to the captaincy in Starfleet. Bird is your security chief, and it's calling. Bird is your security chief, and he's calling from his room. Who would win, a mentally handicapped werewolf versus a dyslexic vampire? I'm Das Electric myself. A mentally handicapped werewolf versus a dyslexic vampire, I would have to give it to the vampire. Is it your velocity or acceleration when you mention the light years per second? Well, right now we are traveling at a velocity of 43 light years per second, but you can adjust the acceleration. Like the acceleration factor right now is 0.51 light years per second. So as I accelerate, that's how quickly it accelerates as you hold down the key. However, you can adjust both. Well, obviously you can adjust the velocity by simply accelerating or decelerating. You can adjust the acceleration with the mouse wheel. Are you using actual green screen or a camera that simulates it? Sorry for the inside baseball during a live stream. Oh, that's cool. No, I am in fact using a, I'll show you by, whoa. Turn it off. It is a green screen. There it is. Question: what happens to part 48 of your Boyd series since it's not listed in the playlist? Uh-oh, I gotta fix that. There's probably one or two that I forgot to get in there. There is a planet where they said Vulcan is, yes, but you can't alter the you can't, Berta, you can't alter the speed on Space Engine. Yes, you can. I just did. No, but you don't have warp speed though. That is a problem. So like, okay, if we turn up the acceleration to a ridiculous amount. Come on, why now it's like being all weird. Sometimes this program does crash. But if we want to, and you could jump to any location. So like you have this little finder here. And so if you know where you want to go, I think that's the 40 ERI, I think is the system we want. So you click on Go To. And theoretically it should jump there, but for some reason it's not. Oh, because, there we go. And it'll jump. And there's the system, a trinary star system. the system for which, and Vulcan is around here somewhere. I know you'd have to like find it, but it's there. And thank you, Thomas, for BIRDOPREY. For the person who said I would warp engines on my Jeep last night's stream, a picture I did in 2004. Oh, geez. Let's see. What did you do, Bird? Wow, Bird. Your artistry is interesting. So, that's, wow. When you jump, does it spin like Discovery or Spock? Unfortunately, no. Spinning Spock is awesome Spock, though. I mean, let's be real. Are you using a webcam or a camera? Since I am currently, and I'm still learning the ins and outs of the settings for it, but I'm currently using the Logitech Brio, which is a 4K capable camera. And I got it mainly because it can do HDR, which can help with the green screen effect. It is a pricey webcam, but it's not as expensive as like a Sony or something like that that you can hook up as a webcam, which I would rather do, but that costs, you know, a couple grand, and I don't want to do that right now because I don't have a couple of grand to throw away. And the funny thing is I actually have a good DSLR camera. I have a Canon 5D, but it doesn't work as a webcam, unfortunately. Hector, you would be looking at green screen on top of a blue screen, anti-trigger. You were looking at a green screen on top of a blue screen. That is technically true. There are options box in the drop-down menu for planets, Andrew. Yes, but if you, like, let's see. So at 40, like, there's... So there's the 3 stars, A, B, and C. But I don't see the planet. That's the problem. Mostly stars on here. But I don't know if it's if it just hasn't been added, or maybe I need a patch or something like that. I have no idea. All I know is that this is a really, really cool simulator. So you can, what I sometimes like to do, well, first of all, what I like to do, I keep messing up. Oh, there it is you just point it right at the core of the Milky Way or nearby it. There we go. That's a nice shot of the Milky Way. And then we order all stop to the engine so that we're not just drifting in a weird direction. And make sure our acceleration is set to, we'll do acceleration set at about 1 1/4 light year per second. And then we'll accelerate. And, oh, it helps if we're in the right mode. We're not in spaceship mode. There we go. So we'll accelerate now to about 5 to 10 light years per second. That gives you a nice star field effect like you're used to in Star Trek. So this is, right now we're crossing at 5 light years per second as far as our velocity. And if we continue to accelerate, you can see the stars moving a little bit faster. And so now I'm sitting at about 10 light years per second. And so that's a nice looking star field right there. I like that. It's a mission to pick groceries from the nearest Kmart to go where every Cherokee has gone before. Let's see. Is a Jeep warp, which is faster than transwarp? I kind of doubt that, BIRDOPREY. Roughly 9.999999942 on the TNG scale. Yeah. That is a problem with, if you want to try to be scientifically accurate when it comes to space travel. Nobody gets the scale of the universe correct. I mean, if you consider that, like right now, we are moving faster than any ship we've ever seen in Star Trek, except for, like, you know, if Q snaps his fingers and teleports someone across the universe or something. But this is faster than the fastest warp drive, right? And this is actually probably, and I don't know, I'd have to look. I think it's actually faster than hyperdrive in Star Wars, because it took the Millennium Falcon at least hours to get across the galaxy, to get from Tatooine to Alderaan. So, and this can traverse the entire Milky Way galaxy. At this kind of speed, we would traverse the Milky Way galaxy in about 2 hours. But you can see that, like, for example, the star field moving by looks pretty, you know, pretty typical for a sci-fi show, right? Like, if you saw this on Star Trek, nobody would even blink about it, even though this kind of speed is way beyond anything that we've ever seen anybody in the Federation do. It took the Falcon 9 parsecs. Yeah, don't get me started on that. Yeah, I started gabbling with Skype. Yeah, welcome to several years ago. I'm looking at getting a starter webcam, looking at the Logitech C920. The C920 is a solid webcam. That's actually the webcam I was using up until when I got the Brio, just because my 920 died on me. But the 920 is a solid webcam. And I'll tell you, the fish are still on a 920. So when you look at the fish cam there, which has an advantage, though. And, of course, now I'm waiting for it to load because my computer is still painfully slow when I try to switch things.
We make love together.
So you can see that's a decent picture.
We make love.
The only downside to the 920 is it, you know, doesn't do 4K. But it's like, it's a good, solid webcam. And if you're using it mainly for like Skype calls and stuff like that, yeah, you can't go wrong. I would even say, I mean, if you want to save a few bucks, go with the, what is it, the C5, can't remember if it's the 520 or the 530, which is their cheaper one that Logitech has. The Logitech webcams, as far as webcams are concerned, Logitech makes good, solid products overall. The only thing I don't like is that, and part of the problems that I've had trying to get the Brio configured, is that if you have multiple Logitech cams, it can confuse the system. So that is one sweet Jeep, says not Ryan Johnson. I disagree. Which Starfleet class ship would there be Jeeps, would be the Jeeps of the fleet? Well, that would be the Cherokee class, of course. Not to be confused with the Comanche class. And of course, the later iterations were called the Grand Cherokee class. You know, you could probably do that, except that somebody would say it was racist. You know, I'm surprised that nobody sued Jeep saying they're racist because they name their vehicles after Native American tribes. I never thought about that, but I'm surprised that nobody has done that yet. Does it have to come with the... that is the downside to the C920, Darren, is that every time you plug it in, you will hear BIRDOPREY and Lore Reloaded singing. Well, Johnny English Reborn is funny and was wondering who did the score and checker. It's very Avengers Marvel. I have not seen Johnny English Reborn, so I have no idea. But you know what? I think Google knows, so let's find out here. So... Johnny English Reborn. And let's take a look at the IMDb page for Johnny English Reborn. And see full cast and crew. Nobody sued Winnebago for Winnebago either. That's true. Let's see. So, writing credits directed by, we don't need the cast. Rest of the cast produced by, there we go. Elon, wow, however you say that. So, here's the guy that did it. Elon Eshkeri is a British composer. And if we look at his work, bunch of stuff here, but most of which I don't know anything about. He did do Survivor. But yeah, most of the stuff I have not, he did, yeah, most of the stuff I don't know anything about. Oh, he did the music for Kick-Ass. That was actually pretty good. So. Okay. Enter. Which do I pick to download Space Engine? As some things called Mirror 1 through 5. You can pick any of them. They're just download sites. I actually use the BitTorrent, but which is also linked there. So it doesn't matter which one. Those are just different download sites. Yo, Berta Praises 5, says Doc. The C920 is the one I've been using. Yeah, the C920 is not a bad little camera. And you can see Berta Praises. Now, granted, that I think part of the problem, like if you look at my green screen effect, it's a little more solid than Bird's. But there's two factors. One, I have an actual green screen behind me. And two, my camera has a higher, more dynamic color range, so it can pick up the green better than Bird's camera. But that being said, forgetting about the green screen side of it, and the fact that you're looking at Berta Praises, it looks fine. So yeah, there's nothing wrong with the 500 series. Oh, but you say now the C920 is what you've been using. So you lied, Berta Praises, when you said the 520, or I misread it. So one of the two. But it's still, yeah, it's a good camera. You need to make anti-trick on nation states junk. Oh, like I have time for that. I've seen, it looks like, Berta Praises, you host the torrent. Do you really? Cool. So you see, if you download it from the torrent, you're downloading it directly from Berta Praises. Little mafia connection there. Bird needs to buy some green curtains. Yeah, green screen material isn't particularly expensive, but the tricky part, and actually, I've actually thought about this, is that I think what Bird should do is you can get a green screen like what I have, put it behind the bed on a little rack. And in fact, on Amazon, they sell kits that come with a little PVC stand for the material to hang on. And yeah, I misread it. Sorry about that, Bird. And then for his bed, I would just get some like Star Trek bed sheets or something, as long as there's no green in it. Wait, you mean Anti-Tracker isn't flying through space in the OG Enterprise? No, I absolutely am. Not on the Enterprise, though. I am aboard the USS Anti-Tracker. Berta Praises has awesome holograms. He does. Problem is that they tend to disintegrate his... Like, if you notice, whenever Bird raises his arm... Also, and I think that it might be a limitation of where he has the camera in relation to him. I don't know how close the camera is. Sometimes when he reaches over, his hand just, like, disappears. Because on mine, I have it set so that the full range of the camera is the full range of the frame, so I don't have to worry about if I move too far, it cuts off, which a lot of people do. So like if I took the camera, let's see, whoops, I didn't mean to turn it off. Okay, if I take the camera and I slide it over a little bit here. So what a lot of people, they have the camera not centered on the picture, so if I reach over, my arm just disappears, and that looks really, really stupid. Or it looks like an old school sci-fi when somebody turns invisible. I have a green screen idea in the works. Cool, Bird. And so I think you should do it. Anti-Tracker is a Berta Praises hologram. No, and I actually have to go with Josh. Berta Praises is in fact the hologram because he is my my holographic representation of Bella Oxmix. And so, and if you don't know who that is, then you probably shouldn't be on this channel. And because, yeah. Mr. Miles says, am I real? The interesting thing about that question, Mr. Miles, is that the only person that can answer that question with any certainty is you. That's a core philosophical point, is that the only thing you can know with absolute certainty is your own existence. So I cannot state with any kind of certainty that Mr. Miles is a real person. But Mr. Miles, you know if you are a real person. Because if you're not real, you don't know anything. You're just, you know, a program or a delusion or something. Not Ryan Johnson says, I am not a hologram, but I play one on Star Trek Discovery. But I'm uncertain, so does that mean I'm not real? No, it just means you're uncertain. No, Mr. Miles, you're just a program on Anti-Trekker's computer. See, that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking there's 28 computer programs running that are just trolling me and sending me all these messages. There aren't any real people out there. Do you remember the live stream where you said you were never going to do a green screen and make professional-looking studio, and if you did, we had permission to come slap you? I don't remember saying I'd never do a green screen. I did say I was never going to do a professional-looking studio because I don't like the fact that, you know, like, some of these people that do it, I think it looks too commercial. As long as, here's where, and by the way, if you ever do see me getting too big for my own head, absolutely call me out on it. But what my thing is, I just want to be real. I don't want to be all flash and presentation and stuff. I think this is cool. I'm not doing it because you guys love it, although I hope you do. I did it because I love it. So that's my motivation. However, if you think it's too much, by all means, call me out on it, and I will take it into consideration and then ban you. Oh no, wait, I'm not Steve Shives. I will take it into consideration and probably get rid of it. But most of you guys have actually really liked it, and it's actually, and the thing is it's not. I didn't purchase any assets. The only thing that I got, obviously the space engine is a free download that anybody. That is ironic, BIRDOPREY. I want to be real, says Anti-Trekker in front of a green screen. Yes. But you know what I mean. I mean me. I am, I don't want people to accuse me of what I sometimes accuse others of, which is just saying things just to get views, saying things just to get subs, as opposed to saying things you believe in the hopes that you get views. And like, obviously, like any YouTuber, I want to have 1 million subscribers. I want to get 1 million super chats every day. I would love that, sure. But I'm not going to sit there and lie to you to get it. And that's where I have a problem with a lot of people in the quote-unquote nerd community. And I say that because most of, like, you know, the people that I talk up about, right? The people that you hear me constantly saying are great people. Hey, Mercer, you're not here right at the end this time. Good to see you. The people that like, for example, you know, I talk about Nerdrotic, I talk about Mecha, I talk about Doomcock, obviously talk about you guys a lot, those of you that are right here right now, like Berta Praises and, you know, Ensign Ricky, he's not here right now, but a lot of you guys that are content creators that I believe are a genuine part of the nerd community, right? I may disagree with you. Like, I know I disagree with Nerdrotic on some of the stuff about Star Trek Discovery and some of the stuff about Captain Marvel, and that's fine. We can absolutely disagree, and we can even fight about it, and that's okay. Trek Yards, great example. I disagree with Captain Foley a lot, and we've argued about it, and it's fun. But, wow, you're really going to do that, Mr. Miles. You probably, yeah, you probably will. I'll lie. How do I translate to 1 million subs? That's simple, BIRDOPREY. Just say what everybody wants to hear. And so, but here's the thing. Thank you for not starting the stream reading a Dollar Shave Club. I don't use Dollar Shave Club. I actually use Harry's. And so remember, Harry's, the subscription razor service that really get. Yeah, I would not be a good candidate for advertising razors since I shave like twice a week. But anyway, it's fine if we disagree. It's fine if Nerdrotic and I don't agree about the relative quality of Captain Marvel or the relative significance of the possibility of Anson Mount not returning for season 3 of Star Trek Discovery. That is absolutely fine that we disagree with that. However, when Nerdrotic says this stuff, I believe he's speaking from the heart. When Mecha Random speaks on this stuff, I believe she's speaking from the heart. When Doomcock says this stuff, most of the time I think he's speaking from the heart. When Lore Reloaded talks about this stuff, I think he's speaking. And when, but when I hear people, and I know I'm going to go for the low-hanging fruit here, but when I hear people like Geeks and Gamers, The Quartering, these guys that basically everything out of their mouths is about the horrific Wah Man or the SJW agenda and all that. and yes, me and Laura are still friends. I was just messing with him. You guys know that I always, any chance I get to get a dig in at Laura, I got to do it. But when I hear these guys talk, it doesn't sound to me like, you know, with geeks, hey Jeremy with another video. You know, nothing about that sounds genuine to me. Now maybe he is. I don't know Jeremy. He could be a completely straightforward, honest, straight shooter and all that. But everything he says, when I listen to them, it sounds like they're just saying what they know they want their audience to hear, or what the audience wants to hear. And, you know, you guys know, I got a lot of flack over my Captain Marvel stuff, and I knew I would. And I know that's how he starts his videos, Mercer, but, you know, just like I always start out my videos by saying, hey guys, Michael J. Crawford, the Anti-Trekker here. And so somebody could say the same thing about me. But, I don't know, Jeremy, it could be straight. I don't think I said it quite like that. But here's the thing. It's, if somebody sees Captain Marvel and they didn't like it, and they want to articulate that they didn't like it, I'm completely fine with that, right? If somebody refused to see Captain Marvel because they don't like Brie Larson, well, I disagree with you on principle. I can understand that, because you know, and I know I've said it before, but if you actually want to avoid seeing a Hollywood movie because of the political attitudes of an actor in that film, then you should never see a movie ever, and you should never watch it. In fact, you should burn your TV set. You should not have internet. So yeah, that's all. You should, because everybody involved in the entertainment media that's a professional, for the most part, are crazy. There are very few that are not, but so I don't boycott entertainment properties based on the political ideas of those in it or involved in it, because I would just never see anything. The other day, Jeremy was chastising a bigger channel for making jokes about another channel being smaller, and I remembered your video about him and his response. That's true. But you know what? Pot, meat, kettle, right? I make fun of everybody, right? I will make fun of a channel that's 20 times bigger than me. I'll make fun of Berta Praises or Ensign Ricky, right? And they're much smaller channels. But you guys know that, you know, I don't think anybody here doesn't know that I enjoy Berta Praises live streams. I don't think that there's anybody here that doesn't know that I think Ensign Ricky's got a lot of talent. I don't think that there's anybody here that doesn't know that I really appreciate Nerdrotic's expertise and everything in the comic book field. So when I do that kind of stuff, you guys know where I'm coming from. Now, if I'm going to seriously criticize somebody, like when I talked about Geeks and Gamers or something like that, then I'm going to seriously criticize it. But if I'm just making fun of people, that's usually because I like them. BIRDOPREY and Anti-Trekker should have a space battle. Oh, I couldn't do. You know what? I was thinking Joshua needs to do an animation, a bird in his bed floating through space, so that he could like float by every now and then on the view screen. Not really making jokes, but dismissing their opinion for not having many views. Yeah, that really bothers me. If you know, no one here doesn't know how you enjoy Laura's singing. Well, sing it. Yeah, of course, it's Laura. He's got such musical pipes. I have a gript for you in your latest Borg video. I assume you mean gripe. What is that, Mercer? Throw it at me, and I will try to be humble, and as I talk about how incredible the power is of my 7,000 subs. No, tell me what your gripe about my latest Borg video is, other than it's probably you're going to say it's too short and that I shouldn't have all the little jokes in it. Anyway, but I'm curious to see what you have to say. But yeah, I think that the dismissing someone because they're a small channel doesn't mean anything, right? Berta Praises says the Hansons. Yeah, I only used the Hansons once. I could have used them a bunch of times, but I only used it once. As the guy that, yeah, Luke I think, was it Luke or someone else pointed out that I had the wrong part number on there. I got to fix that. Let's see. You said the Voyager is really close to sphere, yet remember it's much further than it looks. We were making it for a 4:3 aspect ratio. I know that but here's the thing. When you look at that shot, it seems pretty, because one thing they did better in the original series, and part of it was because of budgetary restraints, is you very rarely saw two ships on the screen at the same time. And that's for a good reason, because if you're talking about, like, for example, right now on our simulated ship here, we're moving at 10 light years per second. That means that if you were following a ship, then they would have to be light years away from you, unless, or you would crash into them, right? So, but I get that. I know that they're probably further apart than they appear to be, but at the same time, if Voyager has a lock on the sphere and is following the sphere at some kind of reasonably close range, even if it's 10,000 kilometers, right? That's usually what they say. Let's say they're 10,000 kilometers away, and then they launch a shuttlecraft at it. It's still, if the Borg could detect the shuttle just a minute or so after Voyager launched it, why didn't they detect Voyager? So, also the credits. When are you going to update the credits? I know, Zarkon, I'm so far behind on that kind of stuff. And I know I complain about this all the time, and I shouldn't make excuses, but it's the simple fact that I don't have enough hours in the day. But that is something on my list of things to do, because I know I'm not even sure when the last time, yeah, I think the last time I updated the credits was a few months ago, so I absolutely need to do that. Thank you for reminding me of how far behind I am and how much I really suck at this YouTube thing. Still visible, says Hector. Do trailers actually drop? Did it break? I'm not sure what you mean there, Thomas. A jet fighter can detect things 400 miles away. That's very true. And the thing is that if I just don't buy that the Borg sphere could pick up the shuttlecraft, but not Voyager herself, especially since Voyager was scanning the Borg sphere. Had to sleep, but anti-trucker delegate. Anti-trucker has to sleep, but anti-trucker delegate. Well, the problem is that in order to update the credits, you would have to, I could get you a list of everybody, but you would also have to have After Effects and all the stuff that I use to render it out. Let's see. Mercer says, I'm so psyched going to see a Rush cover band on Saturday. The first concert I ever went to, Mercer Create, was Rush Power Windows. That's absolute fact. That's the very first concert I ever attended. That's cool. Been a red shirt enthusiast for a while. I understand, Zarkon, and there's a lot of people that aren't on there, and I feel bad about that. Is the news gone for good, or just... Oh, did I? I'm sorry. Well, actually, because the last news you gave me, the reason it's not visible right now, Bird, is the last news you gave me was very St. Patrick's Day specific, so it doesn't make sense to have it up there if it's not St. Patrick's Day. Some trailers get slammed right in your dace, I assume you mean face, like Marvel. Well, that's because those trailers are anticipated, right? And what happens is somebody, like Marvel drops a new trailer, and then immediately a bunch of people will mirror that trailer on their channels to try and drive traffic to their channels. They know that they're not going to get any revenue from the trailer itself, but if they can get subscribers out of the trailer, that's one technique that people use, is you show the trailer, say you get 1 million people coming to your channel to see the trailer, and then afterwards you hope that some of those people stick around. But I'd rather attract people because of the content that I produce, not because I can grab a trailer. Ian says, nice, not sure why. Your series on the sequential degradation of the Borg has been outstanding. How much longer is it going to go? Well, we only have about 4 or 5 more Voyager episodes to get through. And then we will be done. Rush, great band, absolutely. Antracker, why do you harbor so much hate for First Contact? My first concert was Grand Funk Railroad. I was the only one there. You've never heard of Grand Funk Railroad, Darren, so I'm not surprised you're the only one there. Hey, Mercer, it isn't. Why not, is it? I'm not sure what you're talking about. Oh, is that the band you're thinking of? So painting that has you in a Bach concert in Brandenburg was fake news. Yeah, I see what you did there. And Berta Praises throws $11 in, says, has a treat for everybody. Wants them to see Berta Praises serenading Jean-Luc. Maybe. If it'll play. Oh, you stupid thing.
Captain's log, stardate 44307.3. I'm preparing to leave my shuttlecraft for Pentaurus 5, where I've been asked to mediate a dispute among the Salinite miners. A contentious group, unfortunately prone to violence. But first, I must deal with a situation of a far more personal nature.
What better way to get first-hand experience?
Captain, I'm picking up a general distress signal from Birdoprey 5.
On screen.
Feel the fire, feel my love inside you so bright. There's the sound and the smell of love on my mind. I'm your toy, come play with me. Say the word now. Wrap your legs around me. Ride me tonight.
My love is a fever, longing still for that which longer nurseth the disease.
I'm a man, I'm a goddess, I'm a man, I'm a virgin, I'm a man, I'm a blue movie, I'm a man, I'm a bitch, I'm a man, I'm a geyser, I'm a man, I'm a little girl, and we'll make love together. This sounds very pedo-ish.
In faith, I do not love thee with mine eyes, for they in thee 1,000 errors see, but 'tis my heart that loves what they despise, who, in despite of view, art pleased to dote. Shall I compare thee to a summer's day? Thou art more lovely and more temperate.
What? Oh my God.
When I have plucked the rose, I cannot give it vital growth again. It needs, must wither.
Why are you saying these things? Music to make love to an old ladybug.
You wonderfully jealous fool, you.
Wow, well that's basically rape. That is rape as a song. Congratulations. I gotta go turn myself in.
But coming soon. Coming soon will be the ultimate musical experience, of course, which will, of course, be the lovely duet of Birdoprey and Lore Reloaded. So when that comes out, that's going to be beyond awesome. All right, so let's continue on here. I know I'm way behind on the chats from all that, so thank you, Birdoprey. I do appreciate it. I think my first show is Rush Roll the Bones. Very cool. I regularly attend Maiden, England, where they play here. They do their own work too, but under a different name. I forgot. Oh, you're talking about the cover band? Very nice. My wife can't stand Rush. Well, you should probably get a new wife then. Yes, why not in my hometown? So that is who you're seeing. Cool. Some trailers are a surprise. Yeah, sometimes trailers come out of nowhere and you're like, oh, crap, that looks good. Or, oh, crap, that looks bad. Nice. You will love the Mercer. Well, I think Mercer's going to have a good time. 10 more years of the Borg. I hope. No, I don't think so. I think we'll have the Borg done by summer. Bird, you treat so Anti-Trekker is going to kill the Lore Bird duet. No, that duet's going to happen. I can't wait. I'm curious about the original stuff. again, back to the cover band, I presume. The credits will be updated when the Borg series is done. Big fan of them. Now I know where you live, Mercer. Uh-oh. Hey, let's not be stalking. We're friends here. Poconos. Okay. Is it broke? Don't know, is it? Last year, that same venue, the 30th anniversary of Operation Mindcrime was a great show. That's another one I've never heard of. People cling to the personalities and will support the content because they like the person content. Yeah, but, you know, and I agree. The problem is that a lot of people will try to get more numbers but through various what I would consider less than honorable means. Whether it's by posting other people's stuff to try and get overflow traffic like for the trailers, whether it's by doing clickbaity stuff, which even though I know some of my friends do this, I don't like it, where you put up a title saying, you know, confirmed that the Orville is in the Star Trek universe, and then you show clips from like what we saw of the actor that played Gordon Malloy in Star Trek The Next Generation, and you talk about how there's a connection. You know, people will do that kind of thing, and yeah. It is what it is. Riker's hair, man. Riker's hair. Okay. Riker's leg over maneuver. Well, there is that. The Riker maneuver. I crack up every single time the Super Chat plays. I can't not laugh at that. I mean, some of those things that BIRDOPREY, like, I know that was unintentional, but it just works so well. Like, he was like, why are you saying those things? You know, which makes so much sense because Picard's sitting there babbling on about Shakespeare. We need to have BIRDOPREY and Lore do a duet. It's coming, Ian. It's in the work. Here, there is a sample here.
We make love together.
So yes, it is coming. We need to, let's see. Anti-Checker and fellow nerds, greetings and salutations. I just finished my place of employment. To say work would be stretching it. Well, that's good. I'd rather be place of employment than work. That means that it's not that hard. But good to see you, Stromer. Yes, I can see now the lore of the bird. I think Weird Al recited those words in one of his polkas. Yes, he did. He actually did. And except he was like, and we'll make love together. Hey, hey, hey. Yeah. That was actually, I think, off of Polka Party from the In 3D album, if I remember correctly. I know a lot of people that hate Rush, but that love the song. They did called Distinct Early Warning. Well, I know a lot of people that don't care for Rush, but love Tom Sawyer. This week only at insert cheesy Vegas hotel here. Man, these Super Chat rewards are too long. Well, that one is particularly long, but that's why that's an $11 Super Chat. And so most of them are much, much shorter. In fact, Mercer, if you haven't seen the new number 10, it's very short and to the point. And then there's the new number 1, very short to the point. There's a few that are good and short. I always enjoy streams at the worst time. I join the streams at the worst time. Sorry, Joseph, but good to see you. Hope you had a good St. Joseph Day yesterday. And which I didn't know about until I saw BIRDOPREY's stream. And he wants the new number 1. Speaking of the new number 1, so Mercer, this one is shorter, but I think it's really well done.
Star Trek Discovery is not even canon, even though I keep saying it is. And Michael is just too perfect to even exist, and you need to shut up about it being actually good. I just wanted my waffle.
And that is absolutely true. If not for you guys, I would be working at a Waffle House on my off hours and complaining about Star Trek Discovery to poor people that just want their waffle. Remember the Far Side panel with the Tyrannosaurus mechs? I do not. That one's not popping into my head. Next Super Chat will send so many people to Looney Bin. Well, that's the goal. Oh, that is happening. Yes. I assume you're talking about the Bird Chat one that we played. Andre is here from Bosnia. Good to see you, my friend. Props when I'm asleep, then BIRDOPREY 5. You lost me there, Peter. Andrew needs a slap for the Bird Lore duet. Well, what? You think I need a slap for that? It's hard work. I have to listen to this over and over and over. I hate cover bands like Creedence Clearwater Revisited and Hairball. I don't know either one of those, if those are real. Late hello, everyone. Hey, John, good to see you. Toy Story 4 looks lame. I have not yet seen the trailer for it. So, honestly, it makes no sense to me because Toy Story 3 was such a great ending to this Toy Story franchise. So, you know, but Hollywood, gotta take it one more. And let's see. We'll see. SUPERTURDS, yeah, not feeling Toy Story 4. I'm not excited about it, but I haven't seen the trailer. We'll see. Ups, says Hector. Oh, okay. Thomas says summer 2029. I'm not sure what that's for, or is that when you think I'm going to finally get my stuff done? I mean, I'm no huge Pixar fan, but part 3 was a good ending. This looks frivolous, and Hank sounds more like his character from Sully than he sounded like Woody. Well, without seeing the trailer, I couldn't comment on Tom Hanks' voice, but yes. I like Pixar overall. I think they make some really good movies. I'm not a huge Toy Story fan, but I do really like Pixar. And, in fact, like some of their movies, like Up, Inside Out, even Ratatouille was surprisingly good. The Incredibles. There are a lot of really good Pixar movies, but Toy Story 4, really? Say this in a Klingon voice. All these other videos will be dispensed with honor on this channel. See, that's Kling Orc, though. So, you know. But let's see if we can... I wonder, does Google Translate work for Klingon? I don't know the answer to that. We'll find out. Let me see. To Klingon. Alright, so English Klingon translations, copy paste, and translate. That's not... Really? That's it? It translates all that into 4 words? It says, channel videos dispense batlith. Channel videos dispense batlith. Or Bataf. That's just lame. That can't be it. Let's try another site. And okay, so paste that. Yep, and I did it on 2 different sites and it gives the exact same thing. Channel videos dispensed batlith. It looks like the weapon, but you know, I'll paste. This is the actual translation. Hector, get a slap for everyone, so over 7,000 slapping. That would be bad. Got to go. Work calls. All right, Ian, I know you probably already left, but have a good one. Summer 2029, Mars colony founded. That's true. Oh, gosh, what movie was that from? I can't remember now. Without us, you wouldn't be paying CBS. That is absolutely true, Thomas. Peter says, I loved Inside Out. I do, too. Berta Praises simply says, no, not sure what that's for. Peter says, plus S for sleep cam. Yeah, I'm not going to be setting up a sleep cam anytime soon. Thomas says, I've used it for Klingon. Well, yeah, but that translation that sucks. Inside Out was really funny. It was funny, and it also, and that's the thing about Pixar movies when they're well done. They're funny, but they have heart. And like Up, really, man, if you can watch the first 10 minutes of Up and not tear up a little bit, you have no soul. I'm sorry, but that is beautiful. And I remember I really pissed off Captain Redneck because I included that relationship in my top 10 heroes journeys or something. I can't remember. Was it Up or was it someone else? But anyway, but yeah, it's beautiful. Only 41 here. Why so few? Anyway, on my normal trek to tutoring. All right, Alex. Oh, sorry, Doctor. Yeah, it's kind of for the day streams. Usually 40 to 50 is about normal. On the night streams, we've been picking up some pace. Unfortunately, my schedule is going to change in a few weeks. I don't know what to yet. So the live stream schedule will change, but I will let you guys know exactly what I'm capable of doing. It'll depend on what time I'm working. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood trailer dropped. It looked okay. Something I could watch on Hulu. I haven't seen that one yet. Put in Beam Me Up, we can reference that one against what Star Trek Search for Spock? Matthew, I have no idea what you're talking about. Batlith means sword of honor, so it would make sense that the word honor should look a little like Batlith. I could see that, Batat. But the thing is that all that does is take 3 of the words, channel, videos, dispensed, honor. And so, which, yeah, the basic meaning is there, but, yeah. But that should actually be something the Berta Praises, since he is proudly Klingon. My genetic history is Klingon, but I'm proudly a citizen of the Federation. Haven't seen Up yet. I'll see it if it's on Netflix. You should, Peter. It's really, really good. Antrigger, I missed. Oh, no, did you? I'm so sorry. I am so sorry, Darth. Let me go back. You did. I am so sorry. You said Orville needs a space confederacy since it's the Union. That actually, you know, that could be interesting. That really could be interesting. But here's the problem. And I know this is exactly what would happen because Seth, you know, Seth is good about not overly inserting his politics into the show, but I think that if they actually created a space confederacy, he would go all out stereotypes about Southerners. And so, but I think that the new big bad for the series is going to end up being the Kalon now, which I'm fine with. Let's see. And so but I am truly sorry, Darth. And of course, if you want a super chat reward, let me know, my friend. And again, my sincere apologies for missing it. I feel like an idiot now. Top 10 Star Trek captains. I can see how that might annoy Red. Oh, yeah. And no, it wasn't this. What was it? I can't remember the video now, but yeah. Mercer says, just quit your day job. I would love to, Mercer, but I can't afford to. I got little things like a mortgage and other bills I have to pay, and I don't want to be homeless. And I will tell you, I straight up would love to do this, because if I did not have to work, I genuinely would put another 8, even though I'm already putting in 6 to 8 hours a day doing the YouTube stuff, I would probably put in another 8 hours a day producing video. I'd be able to get out a video every single day instead of a couple, 3 a week. I would be able to do live streams every day, maybe sometimes twice a day. I would do the occasional marathon live streams that you guys have asked for. It would be a lot of fun, but I have to get there, you know. Unfortunately, at 7,000 subs, while you guys are incredibly supportive, it's just not enough to support a household yet. And so, but thank you all that encourage me and genuinely want me to do this, because I couldn't be here without you. And as we saw in the super chat earlier, you know exactly what I would be doing. Andrew says, and so I've returned from the Earth's core. Doomcock says hi. Well, good. Say hello to our master or future ruler, Doomcock, the next time you talk to him. Josh says, Antrigger, the night streams have only picked up when you're torturing yourself and us with Star Trek Discovery. When you watch Star Trek Discovery, when you do watch Star Trek Discovery, back to normal subscribe numbers. We'll see what happens. And you're right, though, that the Star Trek Discovery streams have definitely picked up the pace. But the Orville ones on Saturday have been doing pretty good, too. So the nighttime streams overall have had a little bit more of an audience. And I think it's because on the nighttime streams, I'm hitting basically the West Coast of the United States. And there's a lot of people there that... You know, the funny thing about the West Coast, everybody thinks West Coast crazy, crazy, crazy left wing, but that means that the people out there that are not crazy, crazy left wing are desperate for good content. Up, wreck me, screw you, Pixar. Yeah, Darren, it is. Yeah. And Darth Gilhoun wants number 10. Let's bring up. I love number 10 of the super chat rewards. Number 10 is still my favorite right now. And you know, there is just nothing better than spinning Spock. The one time you can say, hey, let's try spinning, that's a neat trick, and it worked. And that was completely Joshua's idea. I loved it. That spinning Spock, I could watch that all day long. And in fact, there are times when I'm like, you know what? We just need a whole lot of spinning Spock. Let me see, where is that? There we go. We just need a whole lot of spinning Spock. Although it's, let's see, there we go. And we'll bring it over here. There we go. So Doomcock just uploaded the second part of his brother review, Star Trek Discovery Season 2, Episode 1, many months after the first part. Okay. I haven't done a single Discovery review yet from the new season other than my live reactions. So, yeah. Let's see. Top 10 hero deaths. That's right, Berta Praises was top 10 hero deaths. And, yeah, Up really got me in the feels, so I included that on the list. But, never mind, Bird beat me to it. Yeah, Bird is the word. Let's see. I reckon the Orville season will end with a Kalon threat one way or another as a cliffhanger. Probably. Which is fine if they do it well. If they do it as well as they did Identity, then yeah, I'm down for that. Trivia. Which Star Trek TNG episode used the astronomical term Lagrange point, meaning the point between two celestial bodies? Ooh. Is it the one where, and I don't remember the name of the episode, but is it the one where it was an earlier episode where there was like a binary system and one of the stars was pulling matter from the other stars and like the ship was drifting towards them? Is that, or was it? No, I'm not sure. I could look it up and cheat, but I'm not going to cheat. I'm going to admit I don't know. It's on Netflix, Trigger, but I'll see if my neighbor has it. Yeah, you got to watch Up, man. Is the Orville post-Burnham timeline? No, the Orville is, well, unfortunately not Trek. Berta Praises says Season 4, Episode 11. So Berta Praises is using Google right now. It's around 4 a.m. when it's a late stream here at Trigger. Yeah, but that's the thing, Peter, is that, and it's funny, I have such an international following. There's no time of the day that I can do a live stream that won't bother people. And so that's why I, remember for a while I was doing 2 streams a day and I enjoyed it, but it was going to burn me out if I kept it up. So I may go back to that if I ever get to a point where I can quit and do a morning live stream and an evening live stream so that people on any side of the globe can catch me at some point. Drawing for the fun of it is here. Haven't seen you in a while. Hey, Trigger, it's been a while. Just stopped in to say hi. And sorry I haven't have to go, but just wanted to say hi. Well, Drawing, thank you for swinging by. You are always welcome here, and I understand we all got lives to live, and sometimes those lives are crazy busy. So take care of yourself. Not sure. I'll have to check that, says Mercer. Okay. Das Boot. Good movie. Oh my god, guys, I'm on a Trek Trivia live stream tonight at 8:30 on Penske File. Oh, very cool. 8:30 p.m. in what time zone? Remember, you got people all over the world listening to this. Berdoprey on Nation States. Have you ever gotten the policy to draft? Oh, that's a Nation's. Hey, Anti-Trigger, nice to see you live streaming. How's your back? Not horrible right now, Oz, although I'll be honest, it's a little stiff. I wish I was in Oregon right now, but I'm not. With so much spinning, will his logic feeling equilibrium reach balance? That's a good question. It seems like if they keep spinning like that, then yes. They did use Lagrange in Data's Day. Was that Data's Day that they used? Okay. Wasn't Bambi on that list too? Yeah, Redneck issue. Yeah. And the thing is that I just used deaths in movies that really impacted me personally. But, you know, and I understand Redneck didn't like it. That's fine. He's entitled to his opinion on it. But, you know, but again, and I've told you guys, I started out this live stream by talking about it. As much as I'm a subscriber whore, as much as I want your money, I'm not gonna not be me. 8 p.m. will be in 2 hours here. Greetings from the future. Greetings from the future. Mercer says, I am the reigning champion. Very cool. If I'd be interested to see how the relationship with the Mocklans could develop to a point where the Kalan decided that they were one humanoid race worth partnering with. I could see something like that. I could see the Mocklans actually, becoming a massive enemy of the Union, and I don't know what they'll do. I mean, how will Bortus react to that? I loved Up, really. Squirrel! Yes, Squirrel is hilarious. Enjoyable show, and yes, if you don't tear up after 10 minutes, you have no soul. Yes, you are absolutely right. Bambi's mother, yes, the Bambi's mother incident with Red, yeah, and I gotta say, if you have not seen Bambi, like, I didn't see Bambi until I was in my 20s, and it was re-released in theaters, and Mrs. Antitrekker took me to see it. And I did not know what happened to Bambi's mom in that movie, and holy crap, that got me. Live stream Eastern Time, 8:30, Penske File, TNG Trivia. Well, there you go. If you want to see Mercer dominate a TNG Trivia night, go to the Penske File. Do you have the link for that, Mercer? You can throw it in there. Oh, I see. However, you're also stiff in the front. Then you can even out the stiffness. So that's true, but unfortunately, no, it doesn't work that way. He's wearing the cone of shame. I wish you could do a tabletop game. That would be the problem is tabletop games can be a lot of fun, but they're not particularly exciting to watch someone play. Hey guys, just need to go and get my live stream ready. Guten Tag, Antitrekker. Hey Darth, have a good one, my friend. I cannot believe I got all misty-eyed during the Cowgirl doll montage in Toy Story 2. Almost had to turn in my Wisconsin man card. Well, and that's the thing that Pixar did so well. And Bambi, by the way, Peter's mentioning teaching kids about loss. See, that's something that unfortunately most children's programming, and heck, most adult programming has lost touch with, is that death is a natural part of life. And if you include that in there, you can really get some good, genuine drama. And unfortunately today, we're so worried about offending people, or we're so worried about people's feelings being hurt, that we don't bother to show real loss. Look at the opening sequence from Finding Nemo. I mean, they spent this whole thing setting up this wonderful relationship with two clownfish, and then bam, one of them's dead, and all their kids have been eaten. You know, that hits. You know, and so having that kind of a tragedy in a movie can really get people invested in the characters. But instead, we sugarcoat everything nowadays, which is a shame. And in fact, let me go back to Pixar, because one of their lesser popular movies, but one that I was impressed like no other in one respect, and that is the message of the movie, because we're talking about a children's movie here. And Mercer says the link for the stream is not ready yet, but here's the channel link. So there you go. So you can check out that channel if you want to see Mercer dominate a TNG Trivia tonight at 8:30 Eastern. But Monsters, Inc. was a great, fun movie, right? But Monsters University, holy crap, did they knock it out of the park with the message of that movie. It wasn't a perfect film. But here's the thing. I can't remember the character's name, but the character that Billy Crystal voiced, the little green blob with one eye. And his character wanted to do one thing, and only one thing. And that is scare the crap out of kids, right? And, of course, he's a monster, so that makes sense. And so then he meets up with Sully. They have some silly collegiate adventures and all that. But at the end of the film, Mike, is it Mike? Anyway, at the end of the film, he learns his lesson, which is not that, oh, you need to focus and study and you can do anything you want to do, because that's what every other children's show says, is that, oh, just follow your dreams and you can do anything you want to do. No, that is a lie from the pit of hell. All right. So the message of this movie was find what you're good at and you enjoy doing and do it. Right. And what what he learned in this movie is that as much as he wanted to be the greatest scarer on the planet, he is not scary, right? He's a little guy. He's cute. He's silly looking. He's not scary in the slightest. However, he's incredibly smart. He understands scare tactics better than anybody else, and he realized that he could be the greatest scare coach that there's ever been. And that's how he managed to make Sully into the scariest monster of all time. And that, to me, is so much better than the old follow your dreams and do what you want because you can do it. No, you really can't. Not everybody is going to be, you know, an NBA superstar. Not everybody is going to be a famous actor. Not everybody is going to be a great doctor or whatever it is. Okay? But what you need to do is find what you can do. And everybody can find something that they can do. Trigger, a tabletop RPG or D&D where you lore, Trek Yards, and Berta Praises roleplay Star Trek Discovery episodes, and you have had them happen. Oh man, that could be painful. So who would be who though? If you had me, lore, Trek Yards, and Berta Praises, the problem is that, well, what about the Wahman? Or do we each have to be a female character, which would be really weird. Every time my folks told me that I could be whatever I wanted to be, I felt like they were actually blowing me off. Yeah, it's a lie. It is an absolute lie. You can't be whatever you want to be, but you can be something. And sometimes the trick is to find in life what that is. Am I doing what I always wanted to do? No. When I was a kid, I wanted to be an actor. I wanted to go to Hollywood and be in movies and all that. And I did a lot of stage productions and community theater and stuff like that, and I enjoyed the crap out of it. But, you know, I know that I'm not going to be a great actor. It's just not in the cards for me, right? Fine. But you know what I never would have imagined? That I'd be sitting here talking to a bunch of people about Star Trek and actually making money doing it. So that's even better than what my dream was. And the funny thing is that being dyslexic, the last thing I ever would have thought of doing is writing. And I write more than anything else now because I write most of my in-depth videos. I actually write them all out in advance. And so when you hear me, even like when I sound like I'm, oh man, I can't believe, you know, all that's pre-written out. And I try to organize it as best I can. Now, sometimes I stumble over my words anyway, which is embarrassing considering I have a script in front of me and I should be taking 20 takes, but I have to edit everything too, so it's just a matter of time. When I was a kid, I wanted to be Green Lantern. Green Lantern, that's not a bad ambition, but, you know, the problem is no power rings. My friends would play Monopoly, Risk, and Axis and Allies. Never played Risk and Axis and Allies. My parents were very, very much hippie, liberal, pacifist types, and so they wouldn't let me get anything that glorified fighting. And in fact, like when I was a kid and there were great cop shows on, like Starsky and Hutch and stuff, I was not allowed to watch them. Thomas says, Antricker, the actor? That's right. I wanted to be an actor. I can't wait for the Monopoly movie. I wanted to be a Green Lantern as well, says Not Ryan Johnson. Wow, we got a lot of Green Lantern fans here. Joseph says that latest episode of The Borg was funny. Thank you, Joseph. You know, and that's the thing. I try with these reviews to do two things. One, to be somewhat informative, to pick, you know, and granted, I know I'm doing a lot of nitpicking, but I'm trying to seriously, show you how the Borg have changed and how that's for the detriment of the overall franchise. But at the same time, I want it to be fun to watch, right? I don't want it to just be, and because people have done it where they be like, today we're going to talk about the ramifications of the evolution of the Borg. When the Borg started out, they were in a collective state. You know, nobody would like that. So I try to put a little bit of me in it. But yeah. Yeah, he was the only hero in the Super Friends who had brown hair. Well, that makes sense, Darren. I didn't even think about that. Peter says, I love Trivial Pursuit. That put me in a good stead for pub quizzes. I actually have somewhere in this house the Trivial Pursuit Star Wars edition. It came out just after The Phantom Menace was released. And I'm sure there have been updates to include the newer movies. But the funny thing is, and I would kick all sorts of butt in it, because, I mean, like, you'd ask any question, I'd just say, yeah, it's that, yeah, it's that, yeah, it's that. I'd never miss a question, so nobody liked to play it with me, which made me not play it anymore. However, here's the funny thing, is that there was a question in there, and this was right after Phantom Menace came out, and it was an officially licensed product from Lucasfilm, and so they said they've, you know, all the questions and answers were verified by Lucasfilm to be correct. And one of the questions was, what famous pair of twins is going to be born in Star Wars Episode 2? And of course it was Luke and Leia, but they didn't get born until the end of Episode 3 because they changed their plans, I guess. Let's see. I'm lucky, Enter Trekker. I've got a sing-sonny accent, and I'm trained with scripts. Well, there you go, jerk. Mercer says, I would beat you in Star Wars Trivial Pursuit. I would be untouchable. That is entirely possible, Mercer. However, yeah, you could be right. But I'll kick your butt in a Star Trek The Original Series trivia game. Well, maybe. It depends on the types of questions, I suppose. Because I'm really good with story-based questions. I'm not so good with, like, who wrote this episode? I don't know. I'll just guess DC Fontana on everything because she wrote a lot of them. You could have had a Star Trek version of Trivial Pursuit now, thanks to JJ Verse and STD. I think they should. I don't know if there is a Star Trek version, but I think there should be. Because think about it, you could have different categories for the original series, the Next Gen era, the JJ Verse, Star Trek Discovery, and then you could do like a potpourri category that would be like, could be anything. My friend just wrote a rewrite of The Phantom Menace as a novel. It's free. Why would... And then you said, I doubt that. Okay. So you doubt that it's free? I will kick anyone's butt in Stargate trivia. Of course you will, Mr. Miles, because that's your symbol, your icon there is the Earth symbol, so I would hope so. Are you going to watch the trivia tonight? I will not, because I will be working at the time. Unfortunately, my work schedule currently, I start work in about a half an hour, and I finish work at 10 p.m. my time, which would be 11 p.m. your time, so your trivia will probably be done by then. Gotta go. I have a meeting with my advisor to get job placement training. My job got eliminated 2 weeks ago. That sucks, Andrew, but best of luck to you. Thoughts and prayers, my friend. I got to speak with Halen Edison twice before he died. He's the guy that wrote the scripts for and eventually became City on the Edge Forever. He was one intense dude. I don't doubt. That'd be cool. Mercer says, I'll send you a link later and you can watch it, not live. Absolutely, you can send it to me on Discord, and I'll check it out when I get a chance. That's a long shift, Anti-Check. Well, it's 9 hours, but there's an hour lunch in there, so yeah. Anyway, I do need to run, guys, so let me wrap it up here and just say thank you for being the best damn crew on YouTube. I couldn't do this without you, and you guys know that. And, of course, the poor people at Waffle House are very thankful for the fact that, yeah, I'm not there. Because if I were in Waffle House stocks would probably be plummeting right now.